Behind in the polls, the Conservatives leader promising to do what no prime minister has done before.
I will use Section 33 of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
Pierre Poilievre vowing to invoke the notwithstanding clause. It allows Parliament to override the Charter and temporarily impose laws that would normally be unconstitutional. Poilievre wants to use it to give judges the power to sentence people who commit multiple murders to consecutive life sentences, so they're behind bars until the day they die.
The worst mass murderers should never be allowed back on our streets. For them, a life sentence should mean what it says, a life sentence. They should only come out in a box.
Poilievre's aiming to override a ruling by the Supreme Court in the case of Alexandre Bissonnette. He killed 6 people in 2017 at a Quebec City mosque and was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 40 years. But the court later ruled consecutive life sentences is cruel and unusual punishment and reduced his to 25 years.
I don't think we have to worry about Mr. Bissonnette seeing the outside of a prison cell.
This criminal defense lawyer says it's unlikely murderers like this would ever get out on bail, even as the law stands now. And while Poilievre's pitch to get tough on crime may be popular, it won't make streets safer.
I think it's a desperate attempt to grab votes. I think it's a failed policy stolen out of the Trump playbook.
Poilievre's main rival says politicizing fundamental rights is a slippery slope.
This is a very dangerous step.
Other parties oppose Poilievre using this clause too.
I think that's wrong. And so we were looking at ways to close down its use or to restrict its use because it's deeply problematic.
You should rely more on improving justice system and laws than removing yourself from their application.
Poilievre says this plan would also prevent victims' families from having to testify and be re-traumatized at parole hearings. The Canadian Police Association says it supports his move in this one circumstance.
And Ashley, what is the likely strategy here?
Well, Adrienne, his party right now is trailing behind the Liberals, which have a sizable lead in the polls. And this allows Poilievre to take aim at Mark Carney and try and argue the Liberals have what he called catch and release, hug a thug laws. That's the same kind of language Trump has used and also heavily campaigned on his tough on crime message, which can be popular. But all of this could be a political risk for Poilievre if he's tied too closely to Trump during a trade war.
All right, Ashley Burke in Ottawa.